Last week we bought our Beneteau Oceanis 41 and celebrated Greek Easter. This week we set sail for the first time, getting to grips with sailing a new boat whilst keeping an eye on the weather and the time, as we had to be at our destination in Lefkada in 5 days, as we had a flight booked. Yes, we like to fly by the seat of our pants. We have cruised the Saronic Gulf in our motorboat in the past, so we know this coastline fairly well by now. As you can see, the weather was glorious. However, the wind was on the nose for much of this trip, so we were motor sailing. Our first destination was Poros. Ironically, this was the first destination that we visited with our motorboat when we first bought her. We knew absolutely nothing about sailing in the Med back then, and it took us a long time to be able to Med more comfortably. This island is a 40 nautical mile hop from Lavrio, and it's popular with many Greeks sailing in from Athens and the suburbs on a weekend. There are some great beaches such as Love Bay and Russian Bay, and it's a great stepping stone to the other Saronic islands, such as Hydra with its donkeys, Agina for its pistachio trees and Spetses, and Porto Heli for its turtles. Sailing into Poros and seeing the town again made us realise just how far we have come in the 11 years that we have been boating in Greece. We used to go into a small bar called Morso, and the young waiter there was called Yanis. He would always look out for us and would often chat to us when we arrived. We had seen photos of the original owner of Ofsky and Yanis together, so we wondered if he still might be there. We moored up and headed over to Morso. As we walked in, somebody grabbed hold of Sean in a bear hug. It was Yanis. It was amazing to see him and his dad, his wife and children. We chatted and he remembered the time that we had to get a large plank of wood to form our passerelle for the motorboat. That afternoon, all those years ago, the wood had arrived in typical Greek style on the back of a moped, and it had taken a German, a Canadian and Sean to get the tools together to cut the board. It was truly an international effort. After spending the evening chatting to Yanis, we said goodbye to Poros early the next morning, and then it was off to our next port of call, Momavasia. The rock has a medieval town at its foot, and it's only accessible via a huge doorway which leads to a labyrinth of small streets and alleyways. It's possible to get a short bus ride up to the entrance for a few euros, and it's well worth it considering the heat. The harbour in Momavasia is so clean that it is a breeding ground for turtles. In the past we have swum with them right in the harbour. This time, however, we tied up alongside, had dinner, and then we were off again early the next morning to get around the Capes. The weather was smooth all the way down, and then we turned the corner. There was a confused sea and the wind was building up all the time. We were tacking but not making much progress, so we ended up getting the sails down and then motoring across to Elefanisos. The water here was so clean. It's very shallow, but we would love to come back here one day. The next morning it was very rolly as we headed up the coast to Zakynthos, and the swell didn't let up all the way. We arrived at Agios Nicholas as it was getting dark, and it was hard to find somewhere to moor out of the swell. That night was horrendous, with the swell battering us. Saucepans were banging around, cutlery was flying, we were rolling around. At one point I woke up and Sean was rolling all over the bed. I tried to stop him, but then I was rolling too, so I had to let him go and just clung to my little wooden shelf all night. We left as the sun came up that morning, and as we got closer to Kefalonia, the swell died down, sun came up, and we were heading for home. Eventually, the landscape became familiar, and we sailed into Nidri on the island of Lefkada around lunchtime. We were staying on the Vliho pontoon, which is opposite the town. We washed Ofsky down, cleaned up, and then it was time to go. Time disappears fast when you need to get to the airport. In next week's video, we head down the Lefkas Canal and then sail up to the town of Savota and enjoy some luxury on a hotel pontoon. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. We are a new channel, so need all the help that we can get.